All right, everyone, welcome back. My name's Anthony. This is my channel and my shop. Two vehicles in the shop. 150,000 mile, 2.4, under, I think it was 3,200 for that car. This car over here was 150,000 on this car too? 151,000. GMC. Customer purchase price from a family member for 2,500 bucks. This car, pretty good deal, right? 150,000 miles. Was at a dealership. They tried fixing the seat. I don't think they were successful with just trying to add dielectrical grease to the connector. It's very seldom do I ever even do that for airbag work to resolve a problem in the connector, but I don't believe the connector was the problem. Anyway, long story short, buying a $3,000 car and putting $2,000 or $3,000, if not $4,000 in it, is good as long as the bones are good, right?
Yes.
It's not rotted out. So this customer paid $2,500 for it. Master window switch is bad. The tires and brakes are good. The control arms are shot. The sway bar to frame bushings are shot. Power steering pump is bad. I fixed the seat harness, not the connector. So I think just by relaxing it and clipping it back in place. Caleb is doing the differentials, right, in the transfer cases, because at 150,000 miles, if they haven't been done, chances are the fluid has evaporated out of these small transfer cases. So this customer here said, hey, do the full boat on it. I want the car back in really good condition. And that's what people should do when you buy a used car for a good price that's not, the bones are good, meaning it's not rotted out. And similar scenario.
That's what your $5,000 car is. Your $5,000 car is
Needs a $5,000 worth of work usually.
or a 2-3 at least.
Right, so gift at $3,000 and needing work. Gift at $2,500. This was a super gift. 4 new tires, doesn't need brakes, doesn't need a rear differential, doesn't need a transfer case, doesn't need a trans, right? Control arms, bushings, master window switch, airbag, tire monitor, oil change. Get the car maintenance up 100%. Buying cars like this, as long as the bones are good, is well worth it. You go and try. You go buy a $2,000 or $3,000 car. Well, we'll just classify it. You can't find a $500 car because they send them to the scrapyard for that. If you find a $1,000 car, it's a gift, right? If you find a $1,500, it's a gift. $2,000, $3,000, and we've been around this game. What is all the junk out there in those price ranges? Junk. Look on Facebook Marketplace. $2,500 needs a trans. $3,500 engine rattles. $3,500 truck, camshaft wiped out, body's rotted out, frames rotted out. That's what I mean by the bones. If the bones are bad, meaning it's rotted out, you're wasting your time. If the heart has issues, meaning the camshaft's wiped out or the rods are knocking and the transmission's got nothing left to it, that's what people are selling out here from like $3,000 and down, right? If you buy a car that has a good trans and a motor and the bones are good like this, it's a home run. The interior's not beat to death, the air conditioning works. So buying those sweet spot cars with the bones that are good are worth putting $2,000 or $3,000, let alone $4,000. $3,000 car, put $3,000 in it for $6,000, knowing that you get a decent car, or go buy a $6,000 car from some scab or some used car dealer that's, you know, an armpit or a skank. And I'm just going to say it because they're out there. And then take that car and have a guy like me check it out, or a guy like Caleb, and maybe some dealerships might give you a true picture of it, and not say that it doesn't need at least $3,000 to $5,000 worth of work, right?
When I'm going to buy a shitter, I mean, or beater, whatever you want to call it.
How much did you pay for his beater? 6-cylinder, rods knocking, not in good shape truck. Manual trans that nobody wants.
Manual trans, but the frame's in good shape.
Right.
The body's in pretty good shape.
The bones were good. The heart had an issue.
The interior was in great shape other than the headliner.
Yeah.
The
What did he pay
ice
for?
cold. $1,900.
So $2,000 for a truck, 6-cylinder. Nobody wants a manual trans. Rods knocking, $2,000. Now Jude's a mechanic. He's going to swap it. But just think about what it would cost to put an engine in it. $2,000 to $3,000. Not some piece of crap junkyard motor, right?
Jude's building a motor, so he's going to be probably $1,000.
So the headliner, if you had to go pay an engine shop, $3,000-4,000 for an engine, right? Headliner, if they're nice to you, $500 or $600. So that's $4,000 on his 2000. That's $6,000. Now he's done wheels and tires and a little body work on the cheap. That was what, $800? Right. Just take them out. $2,000 for the truck. If you had to put an engine in it, which he's doing, and you had to pay a shop, $4,000 and up. So that's $6,000. Headliners, $600 if they were nice. Wheels and tires was $8,000. What's the number?
6, 8, call it 4,000. It's an extra 15, so 54 on top of the 2.
Right. So
it's
$2,000 for the
74.
truck, $600 for the headliner, $4,000 to $5,000 for an engine, and $800 for wheels and tires.
74 on the low.
So $7,000, right? You can't buy a decent truck for $7,000 today, meaning it doesn't need nothing. Facts. Can't buy a decent pickup truck anywhere for that price. Don't care where you are. Can't buy a decent Vita for $4,000 anywhere that doesn't need tons of work. So every day, all day long, have the right bones and the price is right, it's worth every penny to put the money into it.
They can, AC works.
Yep.
Engine doesn't rattle like crazy when you start it.
Yeah.
Transmission shifts okay.
Yeah.
And it's not missing fluids.
True. Yeah. But go look
That's
around.
for a cheap car.
Go look around at Facebook Marketplace and used car dealerships, and look at the junk for $10,000, if not more, on some of these guys' lots. Now, there's other lots that we know that have price point for $10,000 and a little bit better that we recondition that are great cars. So, but that's your slim used car dealerships. And then even if you get up into, we see it all the time, $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 cars. How many of them come in here for recon that need $2,000, $3,000 worth of work before they even hit the lot? That's not even wheel restoration, paint chips, interior work. That's just mechanical recon. So I'd rather be at the Jute scenario if I'm getting a car. You know, but you got to have someone who knows what they're doing, look at it, and make sure that the bones are good, you know, and the heart is good of the car. And when I say heart, is the engine.
Why me?
Well, because I'm giving you an example. You bought a truck for $2,000.
Yeah.
So if a customer bought a truck for $2,000 on Marketplace or from a private seller, it's going to be ready for the junkyard because it's going to need tons of work. You're not buying a pickup truck that doesn't need an engine or a transmission or a frame or a bed or any of that stuff, not including suspension parts and all that shit.
When I bought it, I knew it was.
I know, but it's still a value. Where are you going to go buy a decent truck for $6,000? Nowhere. Show me where, because I've been looking. A decent truck that doesn't need thousands of dollars worth of work. Nowhere. I've been looking. Even Kayla's buddy, the Silverado, for $2,500 I offered him. Body mounts were rotted out. Engine light was on. Ran bad. Frame had rot on it. We didn't even really get into it. And I offered him $2,500. They turned their nose at it. Sell that shit to somebody else.
He put some injector cleaner in it or something, and it fired right up.
It ran for us, but it ran shitty.
It ran shitty.
Yeah.
I think he put a new battery in. The battery was white. The battery was white.
Yeah. But the body mounts were rotted
Yeah.
out. The cab corners had rot in it. It had a bunch of issues. So, and I offered him $2,500, which was market price for a Silverado that year in age. Headliner was falling down. You're not buying a decent truck by my standards for $2,500, let alone $5,000. You see the used car dealerships that bring in these $10,000, $12,000 trucks, Ford, Dodge, rust
Put
buckets.
that tractor in.
Yeah, rust buckets. Scabs are patching up the frame, slathering Bondo over rotted out holes, not even cutting out bad metal. So yeah, if you can get a decent car, and I don't expect the average person to know it's decent. You can't just commit to buying a car like that unless you know what you're buying. Where you have a guy like me saying, hey, even at $2,500, it is worth buying this car and put a few bucks into it and drive it for the remainder of its life and try and take care of it. Yeah, I'm still on a hunt for a Silverado.
How many $2,500 vehicles have you bought?
Me?
Yes.
I bought a lot.
The Sequoia. That was what?
That was $3,500.
That was $3,500. The Black F-150.
$3,500.
3,500.
My personal $3,500 Sequoia and Black F-150, and if I had to pay a mechanic to do the certain things, it'd have been at least $3,000 or $4,000. But I got years and years and years, and I'm still driving the Sequoia. I could have drove the truck if I wanted to put a motor in it, but the previous owner really just ruined that engine before
Well,
I couldn't even save it.
The oil pump went.
I know, but if they took care of it like I
Yeah.
took care of it, the oil pump would have never grenaded it. And at that point, I was like, I'm not putting an engine in it. I'm not going to fix the frame. I'm done.
I mean,
But I drove it for like 3 years.
The red Jeep.
Red Jeep too. I bought that. I got that for free.
That's cool.
Got the red Jeep for free. Fixed the frame, wheels and tires. Had it all the
Sound
body
system.
work fixed, sound system, interior work, and the bones weren't good on that. The
And-
motor and trans were good.
The white Jeep.
White Jeep, another one.
Yeah.
230,000 mile Jeep. Motor and trans. Trans was showing signs of issue. I knew I would at least get a year out of it. And if I didn't put wheels and tires and lift on it, it probably would have lasted way longer.
The Lexus. I mean, yeah, it has little minor issues that I don't get to, but
Or you just go choke down a payment for a $20,000 car or $30,000 car. Well, I mean, if you would have went into the $30,000 used car range, what would it cost you to have a car payment?
Between the car
And insurance, yeah.
and insurance,
something
$1,200.
$1,200 a month for a
My
used
payment's
car.
under 500. And
I
then
thought it was like
no, my car payment alone is like $450, and then my insurance is $450.
Yeah. How many people come in here with pre-owned cars? You see them all the time from our used car dealerships. $25,000 to $30,000 used car.
30 grand, I would have been around $1,200.
Yeah. Dropping a G a month with full coverage insurance.
That's also because of my age. If I were 25, my insurance would be a lot lower.
And if they put $5,000 down, right? If they put $5,000 down. What
Well,
could
that's
they
the
have
thing.
bought? What would they have bought with $5,000 pre-owned and stick a few bucks into it?
I didn't really put money down. I
Used, I meant used, like
I-
private sale.
I did tax title, and then I financed the rest.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, the average person probably doesn't have $5,000 or $10,000 to put down. The average person to buy down a car note. And you pay up front for it every month.
But I got
It's
a few
okay.
things I'm paying for.
Yeah.
Well, the personal loan I'm paying off, and then the rest is just gonna go towards the car.
Look at all the vehicles in the last week here that we put major work into them. No motors, no transmissions. Well, one we estimated the trans.
Yeah.
At the mileage, like the Dodge yesterday, we fixed up.
Transfer case that had what, 250 on it?
It was high, 250,000 miles. Chevy Avalanche, low mileage, just wrong mechanic working on it.
Yeah.
And that white car, low mileage, high years, but it's just nothing. For what you're fixing your cars today for $2,000 and $3,000, you can't get a decent pre-owned car for that price point. You can't. You cannot. So it's worth fixing your car, invest in yourself. So what if your car needs work every once in a while? You're still not choking down that big car payment, interest payments, and full coverage insurance. You're ahead.